Hi, my name is Noel Davis with World Composting, and today we're going to take a look at our Vermibag Max that we loaded up with food last time in a layer and then covered with cardboard. And we're going to see how it's doing and see if they finished off all this food. It's been 28 days since our last update, so almost a month, but not quite. But I think that they probably have worked through all this food. There was a lot that we added with 2 large containers, but at the same time, there's a lot of surface area, which allows them to kind of get in there a little bit more and the microbes to multiply a little bit more. So with that, let's take a look and see if they finished off this food and we can add more and if we can do another large feeding in this system. All right, here's our Vermibag system. Let's open this up and take a look. Just throw this on over the back. It looks like on the top here, I'm not seeing any fruit flies or fungus gnats, which is a good sign. We have our little trap here. This trap still smells like apple cider vinegar, so that's a good sign. There's some dead fruit flies in there, but there's not much left in there. We might have to refresh that soon, although I don't know if we need it since there's no fruit flies in here. Actually, no, now that I say that, I see one flying out right now. We'll see if more follow or not. But on the bottom here, a couple worms, a little bit of moisture, but not a whole lot. I'm going to go ahead and put this off to the side. And let's dig into this system and take a look and see how it's doing. Now, first off, I want to point out here, remember that all the paper I added was wet. I'm seeing a few more fruit flies in here now. But it's just this center section now that appears to be still moist. I can see some worms on top, which is a good sign, including, looks like a little teenage worm right here. So we can get that in the camera there. So right there, if it'll focus, there's a little teenage worm on there, along with a bigger worm. It's a good sign that we see multiplying like that. The top is wet, but dig down a little bit, and it's kind of dried out a little bit. But we are seeing worms as we dig down in here, which is a good sign. And let's just go ahead and start digging from one side here. Let's go from side to side like I did on my my urban worm bag. Let's just see here. So we've got a tea bag here that's still breaking down. Some coffee grounds. Those always take a little bit longer. Let's just pull off to the side here. Another coffee bag right there. Look at this. The majority of this material looks like it has been worked in. Look at that. So they went through that very, very quickly with it being spread out that way, which is a great sign. I mean, almost all the material in here is gone except for those coffee grounds and the tea bag. The material looks wonderful. I mean, this really looks like a great rich material right here. It really looks good. So let's just go ahead and move this over to the other side now. Let's check out the other side and see if the same thing happened. See a couple little seeds popping up here. So there's something over here that was growing. I'm wondering if that was, I think I threw in, actually I can still feel, oh, that's just the a mango pit. I'm wondering if those are pepper seeds. It looks like we could have had some pepper plants maybe. We're just going to fold them back in here. Look at this. Look at this material though. I mean, look at it. Beautiful material out of this. Tons of worms in here. They look really nice and healthy. This is really, really looking good. Again though, these coffee grounds, they just take longer to break down. Not surprisingly. When they're in the bag especially, they take longer. But this material is looking really, really good, and it looks like these worms are really working through it. So, not surprisingly, they have worked through all the material that was in here. And now it's time for the next part, where we add more. And we're going to do the same thing that we did with my urban worm bag, and we're going to the same thing we did last time here. We're going to add an entire feeding along the top, and then we're going to go ahead and cover it with moist paper. This paper is a little bit dry. This is one of the things that happens in my Vermibag. Because of this mesh netting, it tends to dry out a little bit more so than the other, than my urban worm bags because of that mesh netting. If I had to buy one of these again, I'd probably get a more closed in, or one of the ones that has the zipper that can allow it to still vent in the middle. I probably would not buy the full mesh for my area. I think that's a little bit too much mesh, but it still does work. So with that, let's add some food. Now we've got a special thing today, which is one of their favorites, and this is ground up in my juicer, carrot. Just knock all this stuff out right here. I've got some carrot, some spinach, some celery, and there is some apple in there as well. We're just going to go ahead and spread that all along the surface there. Let me just make sure I get all of it out of here. I'm going to use my clean hands for that. Since this went through my juicer, this is not frozen, by the way, and this should be ready to eat right now. Like it's going to get microbial growth almost immediately. Now, because we added that, I'm going to add a second small container here, which is going to have a variety of stuff. We've got a banana peel, knock some of that stuff out. We've got some avocado pit. Bug on the side over there. Got some coffee grounds and apple core. Some, I think this is cucumber peelings. So I'm just trying to break some of this stuff off so it's kind of spread out a little bit. And then we just get the last of this out. We've got, these are tea grounds on the bottom here. That's from tea. We've got coffee. Not sure what that is right there. This right there is something that was, I guess, kind of breaking apart and then re-solidified in the freezer. We've got a grape stem. That'll take a while to break down as well. And a little bit of celery. A little bit more celery in here. Let me see if I can break that out. All right. Now this is not enough food to last for a while. And that might be like a normal feeding for a regular small family. But for me, we go through a lot of food in here. And I have another large container to add here of miscellaneous scraps here. Again, lots of coffee with my systems and lots of banana peels. So in this we've got our tea bag. And by the way, those tea bags from, this is Twinnings tea bags, if anyone's wondering. They do break down in these systems fairly well. Surprisingly, I didn't think that they would. I was worried that there would be some plastic or something in there, but I'm not finding anything left over. But we got banana peels, coffee grounds, some strawberry tops, carrot that went bad in the refrigerator. We have more coffee grounds. We've got banana peel. These are tea grounds right here. I can't remember what type these are. I think those are green leaf tea. More coffee grounds. Unfortunately, I really should try to open up these coffee grounds before I put them in here, so that way they break down a little better, I think, that way. Maybe I'll have to try to pour them in. More banana peels. Carrot peelings. Lots of carrot peelings on this one, and carrot in general. And celery. Let's just see if we can break this apart a little bit more before we... Now, this one, I'm going to have to probably check on this a little bit earlier, because they went through that other stuff pretty quickly. It was pretty much all gone in 28 days. So I'll probably do it a little bit faster. But there's a lot of coffee grounds in here, though, so I don't know. We'll see. There we go. I think that's good enough for now. We've got that sort of all spread around here on the surface. Try to spread them out so it's all nice and mixed up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add some crushed crab and eggshell. And this is the grit for the worms. And I do like to add a fresh spritz of grit. And I can add quite a bit. It's okay. This ends up in your soil. This is a great calcium supplement for your soil, for your plants. Be careful breathing this stuff. It's low enough in my bin where it's not coming out that way as far as through the air. Now with the next part, we're going to go ahead and I've got my cardboard here, and we're going to add some water to it. So, and soak this cardboard, and then we're going to dump all this. And we're going to make sure the, excuse me, I wanted to make sure that all of the food was gone before I added more, and that we, I didn't want to just add more bedding in here, so I always wait to wet it until I know. So I'm going to add 3 scoops of water into here. And now I can feel the weight in here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of roll this around, try to get all of the paper in here wet. And there is water sitting in the bottom. I can see it. It's hard to tell because I can't rotate the camera. I'm going to have to move this a little bit off camera just so I can get my hand in, move things around. Sorry about the noise there. And what I want to do is just move this paper around in here, try to get all of it wet. Make sure I kind of soak up as much of that moisture in here as I can. Let's just see here if any of it rolls to the front. See, there's a little bit of moisture in the front there. I don't know if you can see that. Actually, my glove is in the way. But there's a little bit of moisture when I roll it forward, so I got to make sure I get all of this, or most of it, absorbed, even though this is kind of dry. But it's going to absorb into this paper. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and dump this in here. There's a little bit of water in there. That's okay. All right, let's knock all this stuff out. And we want to kind of cover everything in here. A nice layer of wet paper. And as you could tell last time, this bin sort of dried out, so don't have to worry about don't have to worry about too much moisture in this system, really. It tends to dry out more than anything. Just try to cover everything just a little bit, give everything a nice coating of cardboard. Oops. So that's me just pressing down on the container and it pops. There we go. I think that's good. And I'll only get a couple more pieces there. There we go. And the last part is I'm going to put this down. I'm going to grab the top and put it on top again. And there really wasn't a lot of bugs in here. I mean, there was a couple of fruit flies that looked like they came out, maybe 5 total. So that wasn't too bad. So we're going to put this back on it. We're going to go ahead and put this fruit fly container back there in the corner. And we're going to close this up and call it a day. This was a good update. I'm glad to see that they went through all that food that I'd added. And they're doing a good job of hopefully going through the cardboard as well. That's the next question, is are they going to be able to move through this cardboard just like they are the food? So I'm hoping that lower layer of cardboard will be gone the next time along with the food, and that is our update for this week. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions about these systems, or if you're looking to purchase one, there's links down below. So thank you for watching, and let me know if you have any comments or questions.